What is up, my bodyweight warriors, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the biggest mistake that I see people make when it comes to learning the handstand. This often applies to beginners, but it can also apply to people who are a little bit more advanced as well. I'm going to break it down in today's video and explain to you how you can avoid it and what you should be doing. So the biggest mistake that I often see is actually kind of twofold. The second part of it is to do with how people perform the wall handstand, and the first part of it is that people don't perform the wall handstand. This is one of my biggest bugbears when it comes to learning the handstand, is that people just try to kick up and randomly catch balance and just keep going on this trial and error like over and over and over again, just trying to kick up and catch balance. It's going to be a very slow and very tedious journey. Handstand is slow and tedious enough as it is. This is going to make your life so much harder. If you're learning to do the handstand and you're not doing some form of balancing work on the wall, then you're making a big mistake. You need to spend as much time as possible learning to balance on the wall. The wall is your friend, basically. If you want some guidance on how you can actually go about and apply and make a handstand program, then I would highly suggest checking out my app that is called Tribe, and I'll link it in the description down below. In there is a bunch of handstand routines to help you go from zero to getting some form of handstand in a nice, clear and concise way. So now the first part of the mistake is out of the way. The second part comes in, and that is how exactly you're performing the wall handstand. Now I'm just going to throw up two clips here. I'm going to throw up one clip of me performing the wall handstand correctly and one of me performing it incorrectly, A and B. If you think you know which one is the correct way to do it, then you leave a comment down below, A or B, let me know. All right, time is up. The correct answer is B, and the main reason for that is the difference between creating balance and trying to find balance. In clip A, you can see me clearly using my feet to kind of bounce off the wall and try to find and fall into balance. This is a really common one I see when people are trying to first figure out how to balance. They just end up kicking off the wall continuously, trying to push themselves, and then randomly find that nice sweet spot where you hit equilibrium and you find balance for a brief second, and then you fall in one way or the other. As opposed to the correct way of doing it, which is creating the balance yourself and then holding that position. The reason this mistake is so damaging is kind of twofold. Number one is that it's inconsistent and it's erratic. You don't actually know if you're going to kick enough or too little or whatever. There's not a huge amount of consistency of it, which is one of the keys to creating balance and finding it and doing it for a long period of time. We need that consistency, so kicking off the wall doesn't give us that. The second issue is that when you do a handstand freestanding, there isn't a wall to kick off. So if we learn to create balance by kicking off a wall, kicking off an object that is next to us, then when we actually go to take this to, an open space somewhere that there is no object to kick off to find our balance, we're just going to be stuck, basically. So how do we correct this mistake? The way to correct it is to create balance instead of trying to fall into it. So what that means is, instead of just trying to frantically kick off the wall, we need to alter our center of mass so that we feel our legs lift off the wall as we move that center of balance and find that balancing point. Now, if you want to know more about this, I do have a whole video on how to balance the handstand exactly, and that goes into quite a bit of detail in terms of using the hands to balance and using the shoulders, more tips, etc. So I highly recommend you watch that video down below if you want to learn more about this. But essentially with the wall handstand, what we need to do is we need to bring some weight off the wall. The reason we're on the wall rather than balancing the handstand is there is more weight in underbalance towards the palms of our hand, towards the wall, than there is the other side. So what we need to do is we need to bring some weight off the wall. We can do that either by using our legs to counterbalance, or we can do that by shifting the shoulders or shifting weight forward intentionally from the palm of our hand more towards the fingers. By doing this, what we want to try and do is lift the feet off the wall, not kick off the wall, and then by doing so, we are creating our own balance and learning how to control it. From here, we just hold as long as possible. We either fall down or we fall back onto the wall, and then just repeat thousands of times. And eventually you'll be able to balance the handstand. So there you have it. That is the mistakes when it comes to learning how to handstand to begin with. Not using the wall. The wall is definitely your friend, and even as you get more advanced, the wall will still be your friend for learning new moves. It is a crucial teaching element. And then number two is using the wall too much, or trying to rely on the wall to create your balance rather than actually trying to do so yourself through the shoulders and the wrists. As I said, if you do want any further guidance, there is obviously my workouts in the app Tribe. There is also the video on YouTube, how to balance the handstand. If you do have any questions about today's video, then feel free while you're down there to leave a comment in the comment section down below. You can also hit that thumbs up button if you just want to support the channel. Right next to it is that subscribe button if you want to join the Bodyweight Warrior Tribe and don't miss out any more future videos. But that has been it for this week, guys. I will catch you in the next episode. Have a strong week and peace.